Hello and welcome to our program Violence Free World. My name is Kali Ikpe and we continue today on the road to a violence-free Nigeria. And we are privileged to have as guest on the show today the Executive Governor of Katsina State in Northwest Nigeria, His Excellency Aminu Masari. Excellency, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to come back with the conversation shortly here. The role of the media has recently come under scrutiny following the protracted bloodletting and violence that has engulfed our country.
This will not be time of video. Get out! Get out! Get out!
It has come to the fore that issues such as hate speech, misrepresentation of fact, and biased reportage have ultimately added fuel to the ongoing fire.
I think part of the concerns and the issues that we have is that because our media space is not very lucrative, because we don't make as much money, there are a lot of people who are under financial pressure. And I think media owners have to take some responsibility for that.
Many believe that the media has become an instrument of propaganda and blackmail, a trend that negates its traditional role of creating a peaceful and harmonious atmosphere. While it may seem convenient to blame the largely unregulated social media, there is abundant evidence that the traditional media, that is, radio, television and newspapers, more often than not, lend themselves to false, biased and unconfirmed reports. This in itself has helped to escalate the ongoing violence in no small way.
The media, in my opinion, including AIT, Power, they have failed the nation. The days where you had courageous reporters who stood for Nigeria and believed in Nigeria, they defended the ordinary person to the last.
Ethnic profiling, for instance, gained much ground from a reporting pattern that persisted unchecked for a long time. There is also the challenge of practitioners turning deaf ears to certain developments where sentiments and special interests are involved.
The mainstream media are paid by the security apparatus, they are paid by corrupt government officials to keep quiet. They only talk on that which interests them and that which is their interest. That which is in their interest will attract the international media.
Finally, just as some people have turned acts of violence like kidnapping, banditry, and even insurgency into a business, it is equally believed that the media could help bring about peace if professionalism, empathy, and patriotism are brought to bear on news reportage as we crave a violence-free Nigeria. Now, 2023, it's around the corner and everybody, the discourse, the table on a lot of places, it's basically zoning. It's been the turn of the north, it's going to be the turn of some other zones this time around. Is this something you consider as rational, something sensible? That since it's been somewhere at zoning, and if it's going to be zoning, why not a zone that has never had it before? Why are you looking, I'm not mentioning anything, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
You see, I had the opportunity of going to Constitutional Conference as convened by Abacha, 94, 95. I think from that conference we rose with a structure of 6 geopolitical zones. And also, I was a member of the Transition Committee in that Constitutional Conference. And our initial recommendation was 5 years single term and on rotational basis.
5 or 6?
5 years.
Okay.
Single term. If you go for 6 zone, that will be 30 years. After which, then if through the instrument of the National Assembly, feel there is need to continue the rotation or zoning, then the National Assembly can extend its life. If not, it will be a level playing ground for all. Abacha, in his wisdom, did not accept that. So we come back to our written zoning, that if it is in the south today, tomorrow it will go to north. At least we have seen it in PDP. I was in PDP before. After 8 years of Obasanjo, many people from the southern part of Nigeria wanted to contest, and they had very good chance. But nobody wanted to contest from the zone of Obasanjo at that time, but people from other zones. So it came to north. Through the unfortunate death of late Umari Aradua, it went back to south, and the south. So now, in our party APC, we produce a president from the north. Some people are arguing that it will go to south because it will foster unity. I am for that. I have no apology to make to anybody. That's my personal position.
The question I asked you, if it goes to the south, shouldn't it be where they've never had it before?
That's not my business. My business is north versus south. In the north, Shagalu was president from the northwest.
Sokoto State.
Now, Abacha was military head of state from northwest. I'm then trying to tell you who were presidents in northwest before President Muhammadu Buhari. Murtala was Nigerian military president from northwest. Then Umar Yar'Adua was elected president from northwest. And now Buhari.
Even Buhari himself before.
Buhari from northwest. He was military head of state from northwest, and now elected president from northwest. So are you saying now, so whenever a rotation turns to the north, nobody from northwest should aspire to be president? Because northeast maybe they have never produced one, maybe no central produced Babangida military, or what? What are we talking about?
That's the thinking around. So if you have some geopolitical zone, take it around, turn by turn.
Then you should go back to our earlier recommendation, which I think
it's brilliant.
Which was thrown away.
It's brilliant.
But it was thrown away.
But it's not lost.
Well, it is.
Lost?
How? It is.
It's somewhere. You can fetch it. I'm sure you have a copy in your house.
If I have a copy.
Yes.
That copy has no mandate.
Well, mandate is something else that can be revisited.
Has no agreement.
Yes.
But there is a written agreement. Because I do believe this rotation will augur well for Nigeria. Because no zone or region that is lacking in terms of people who can be president.
Excellency, I think I get your point. You're for rotation, north, south, not as to how it is shared between this place. That's their business entirely when it comes to that stuff. Please quickly tell me, direct primaries, why are the governors not for it?
No, governors...
It's like there's a split between National Assembly and governors.
Governors are not against direct primaries, are looking at the consequences of direct primaries.
Leave it to the people to sort out what it comes. You love Nigeria that much.
Were you thinking COVID could come at the time it did?
No.
Have you ever envisaged something like that? So now, if we don't have another window.
Well, I think, let me answer your question. Yes, I envisage. Once HIV/AIDS came and all this kind of conspiracy theory could let you know that it is possible for COVID. I will say it in movies.
COVID?
Yes.
Shut down the world, not only Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. Unless, if you term situations like this as emergency, which means you cannot even have the election. So what we are saying, all the fears the members of the National Assembly are entertaining cannot be cured by direct primaries. You see, the issue is attitudinal change. Some of the proponents of direct primaries in the National Assembly were against it yesterday when they were governors. We fought them because after leaving office as Speaker, we formed PDP Reform Group. Some of them were part of those who even suspended us from PDP because they didn't want to reform the political system. Our argument then was, if PDP, that was having over 500 local government at that time, was having over 27 states at that time, if it reforms, all other smaller political parties will reform. They fought us. They sent us out of PDP. And gradually they eased me out of PDP. So I laugh. But for me, I'm not bothered whether you have direct, indirect, or consensus. Because everything boils down to coming on ground. Isn't it? So I think what is most important for us in APC, we should not look at this thing we versus them, or winners versus losers. We should not. We should not. As a party, if it is the overall decision to go and direct, we should be united on it. But if some people start to raise a flag of winners, then it means they are losers. Some are not good losers. So do not augur well. Because this is not only for APC, it goes for PDP and all other political parties.
There's so much more to come back and talk when we return from this break. This has been Violence Free World. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back. This is Violence Free World, and I'm here with His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Alhaji Aminu Bello Masari. The people on the street wanted me to ask you this question, even though from the conversation that we've had, I know where you stand, which is with the people more or less like. Why is the society, and by extension government, more disposed to pampering, rehabilitating people who have been involved with criminality, involved with terrorism, much more than even pandering to the people, to the victims, the widowed, people who have been widowed. They bring these people out saying, okay, these are repentant terrorists, repentant bandits, repentant terrorists, and they're giving education, giving monies, giving all of that. Meanwhile, the people in the camp are still suffering.
You see, if you have a bad boy in your house, you have children, then you have a bad boy. You can go extra mile to rehabilitation to come and join his other brothers. than push him out.
That's a smart answer. Straight to the point. I get it.
People fail to understand this man is cancerous. It's cancerous to the society. So if you can get and impute that cancer in him, you save the rest. If you don't, he becomes cancerous and affects the rest.
Okay, Excellency, that's not. How would you assess the performance of the media as far as curbing insurgency, terrorism, banditry, and all forms of violence is concerned, in link with how you have worked? Has it served to deepen it or to exacerbate it?
I have no problem with reporting what had happened.
The media?
Yes, I have no problem.
With the way they have gone about the reportage?
Especially by the print and the electronic media. But you know, there is a world of difference between half full and half empty. You are reporting the same thing. Half full, you are being objective because you hope the other half will come and the cup will be full. Half empty, you are negative, thinking that it will drain and the cup will be zero. So in reporting events, especially of security, first, while highlighting what had happened, we shouldn't go all right and list to all the weaknesses of our armed forces. It is reinforcing the bandits and the insurgents. And the worst is still, social media has become a menace. They have scared people where there is no cause for being scared. In Niger, they are having more terrible situations than us. In Mali, name this country, Chad, they have permanent rebels. All these countries, look at what is happening in Sudan. Look at Ethiopia. What is happening is not peculiar to us. It's a global phenomenon, and especially for developing countries in Africa. Even the most developed nation, you heard somebody will enter school or be a palo and kill 20 and 30. It's no news. So I think, but definitely of recent, especially for print and electronic media, there seems to be some really readjustment and really reporting in such a way that we are not creating sensation. I met many people. When I told them that I drove to Abuja sometimes, they are surprised. How can you drive? When they say nobody can drive.
When did you do the driving? You mean why as governor?
Oh, severally.
You drove
Not
from here
up to a month ago, I was on road.
You were driving?
What do you mean by what do you mean by I'm driving? Are you driving myself?
Yes.
No, my age is that
I was wondering because
what I'm saying, I go on road.
Okay, you're going by road.
Yes.
Okay.
Going by road.
Okay.
At my age, I can only drive inside town. At over 70, one should avoid a long haul as a driver.
Very true. That's. I'm sure you can understand my shock when you said you drove to Abuja.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Finally, Excellency, your word of advice to young people, to which this program is about, the more. Things have happened. NSAS has happened. The anniversary has come forth, and many of them are looking to people who have embraced or had embraced violence and now are made chiefs. They have become very rich. They're living much more comfortable, and they're feeling somehow that are we maybe not doing the right thing too? What is your word of advice to them as far as violence and drugs is concerned?
The thinking is that even if all conditions are normal or ideal, which is impossible, we can't all of us be rich. We can't all of us be leaders. We can't all of us be pilots or engineers or doctors what each and every one of us should have, means of livelihood. And you see, opportunity is there for a willing and determined mind. When we spoke about ourselves, people would say, your time is not like this. Yes, but our time has its own challenges. Was there any time that has no challenge? But the share is, do not attempt to run when you cannot walk. When you see a 60-year-old going in Rolls Royce, at 25, you do like this. You didn't know the road he followed to reach here. You didn't know. You didn't know. When you see a house, somebody of 70 years or 60 years living in a house, at 20 you start looking at the house and wondering why is he. You didn't know the road he walked to come to where he is today. So forever, the time in mind, there is opportunity. For every willing person, there is also opportunity. But if you are not willing, you are not determined, even if they take you to school 100 times, you come back empty. Age, especially youthful age, you use it today to build tomorrow. You don't use it today and say you will enjoy it today. No. No. You use it today to build your tomorrow. It's like building a house. You can have all the money, but you have to build before you enter. What will you say, okay, I have this money, house fall? You are young, you are energetic, your brain is working. Look at your environment and see what are the needs of my environment. What can I do to earn a kobo than to beg or wait for somebody to come out? It's better to be a street cleaner and earn a living than wait for somebody to come out and beg him. Or wait for one politician to come and say, hey, come all of you, come all of you. He drive you. He goes and while his children are at home or in school. His own children are either at home locked or in school. If it is good, his children should be the first. Look, I came from a village as an orphan. I had nobody but my Creator God. So if I look at my journey through life to where I am, then I look to everybody and say it is possible. If it was possible then, it is still possible today, and it will be possible tomorrow. For those who are willing, determined, hardworking, and obedient to those who are their leaders or parents or seniors.
Well, Excellency, I think that's a very good point to leave it. At this point, I must thank you very much for finding time to oblige me.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Well, I've been speaking with His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Alhaji Aminu Bello Masari. Same time, next week promises more if you endeavor to be here. Please remember to remain on the road to a violence-free Nigeria. Thank you for watching.
No.